Welcome everyone to today's first webinar of the European Medicines Agency for Fact Checkers. So we have quite a number of people registered for this webinar, and I'm very excited that there is such a huge interest in this webinar. We choose the title Safety of COVID-19 Vaccines and Therapeutics because this is an area where, we have seen particularly a lot of distortion, misinformation, or even outright lies, that have confused the public and have actually supported conspiracy theories and vaccine skeptics. So in the past 2 years, we have been in contact with many of you and have tried to help you find, the right information, inform you about how we work, because we really think that what you are doing is very, very crucial, because you can help people to tell fact from fiction, to help them understand, the scientific basis of the recommendations that we provide, but also you help them, take science-based, evidence-based, health-related decisions, because they are looking to us to get information whether they should vaccinate themselves, their families, their children, and therefore this is really important, and you help us reassure the people. Perhaps some information before we start. So we are recording this webinar, and we are also going to provide you with the slides that we are going to show you today, so no need to take notes. And we are also going to send you a short survey after the webinar, because it would be very good to get your feedback on whether this webinar was useful and whether we should perhaps repeat it with another topic, etc. So that would be really appreciated. So today you will hear from 2 EMA experts. One is Dr. Georgi Genov, who is the head of pharmacovigilance at the European Medicines Agency. And the other one is Rodrigo Postigo, who leads signal management at EMA and who is also the co-chair of the UDRA Vigilance Expert Working Group. But before those 2 colleagues are going to inform you on the safety monitoring of vaccines and also on how to search for and interpret data on our ADR report website, I'm going to give you a short overview on our work and on the role of EMA, the role of member states, but also we have been dealing with the so-called infodemic during the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's get started. So looking at our work, we are providing scientific evaluation, supervision, and safety monitoring of COVID-19 vaccines and treatments. And we are have adapted our procedures to accelerate the process of the approval process for any medicinal product that has been developed for COVID-19. So normally the process starts with an early interaction with the companies. We provide scientific advice to guide them, for example, regarding their clinical study design, to make sure that they provide the robust data that we will need for an evaluation. We also initiated the process of rolling review, which is a kind of a new process, because normally companies submit a full data package before our experts look at them. But during the pandemic, we are looking at the data as they are coming in, and therefore we are able to accelerate the assessment and fast track our evaluation. But what is really important to always underline is that for us, safety is the highest priority. So any vaccine, any COVID-19 product we need to be sure, that its benefits outweigh the risks and that it's safe and efficient for use. Then after a product is actually marketed in the EU, we are looking constantly at its safety. So we have a very strong pharmacovigilance system in place, and you will hear more about this this afternoon. And we are able to identify and also then manage any possible risk very early. We are also, in addition to the actual assessment, we are also looking at applications for new production sites, to make sure that also the manufacturing complies with quality standards, and that we can also rapidly increase the supply. This has been, during this pandemic, not only been important for the European Union member states, but also globally, because vaccines and therapeutics are also exported and used in countries outside of the EU. So EMA is providing an assessment based on a wide range of data, which include, for example, studies, clinical trials. Then if you look at manufacturing processes, also at the ingredients that need to be used, we agree with the companies on follow-up plans for safety and efficacy. And all this information helps then member states to make their own decisions, because we can provide them with, the best possible information on efficacy, safety, and quality of COVID-19 products that we have been assessed and recommended for approval. It has often been confusing for people to understand, the role of the regulator, so the European Medicines Agency, and then, what is being done at the national level. But the roles are very different. While we look, really assess the scientific evidence that allows us to then decide whether a product is efficient, of high quality and safe. A member state needs to look at a variety of aspects, not only, the broad epidemiological situation, but also, how much is the virus spreading, which variant is possibly spreading, is the population in a certain member state particularly old or rather young, what kind of vaccines are available in the member state, what is the hospitalization rate, what is the capacity of the national health systems, what is the storage conditions for a vaccine, etc. So all these are considerations that a member state needs to take into account when they design and roll out their national campaigns. During the pandemic, we have been facing, a huge challenge, with disinformation and misinformation. And as in all crises, it's very important to have and provide reliable, accurate, and timely communication, and to be as transparent as possible. So we have put in place special measures to be particularly transparent. For example, we provide all the clinical data that underpin our recommendations, and everyone can have a look at them and kind of make themselves sure, or convince themselves that we have done a good job. And we also provide, timely information, mainly on our website, but also via other media, social media, via press briefings, etc., and try to anticipate certain concerns and address them early on. And here you come in as well, because you help us to provide this factual information and to identify misinformation early on, and also debunk any disinformation. So this is really incredibly important, because this misinformation can have serious consequences during a crisis, because it impacts public health and personal decisions. And therefore, we really need to make sure all together, that we combat it and take action and don't allow it to spread. So it's very important for us to engage with the media and also engage with you, the fact checkers, and make sure that you have the right information at your fingertips.